What's the current state of ChainFlip in terms of, liquidity, in terms of, TVL trading volume, some kind of, KPI statistics, and then also, follow that up with what are your intentions? What are your goals? I know the $100 million a day trading volume goal is out there, but, what are some of your long-term visions for ChainFlip?
But yeah, 100 million is just the start. I mean, as I said, we only launched this 6 months ago, so it's been pretty. It's always that first 6 months launch where you figure out, does this survive scrutiny in its current state in the real world? And they're super critical months. If you can't identify what the problems are or where your assumptions may have been wrong, you really don't have any good chance of being successful in making the next round of changes to take the product to the next level. And I think that applies to pretty much any tech product that you can think of, or any engineered product for that matter. But to give you some stats, I think in about 2 or 3 days, we'll hit 20,000 all-time swaps and about 300 million in all-time volume, which I think is pretty damn good, all things considered. What else? We've got TVL. I'm just literally looking at the website right now. We have currently about 11 million in TVL in the system, in the liquidity system. And then when you look at the validator network, we have a global projected lockup of about 55 million in economic security right now. So plenty of headroom to grow, and plenty of capacity to be able to do more things with the system. Beyond just storing liquidity. So this creates room for things like the boost pools. It creates space for more liquidity to come into the system, even perhaps allows us to create space to enable trading from within the LP account itself. So we'll probably also go from calling LPs to trade accounts. So you can actually internally swap inside ChainFlip. And we're building a new interface right now that is much more aligned with the centralized exchange experience. So like Binance, you'll be able to have basically an account. You sign in with your MetaMask, and then you can freely swap between the assets that we support without anything actually moving on chain. This is all just done internally inside ChainFlip within 6 seconds each time. So more and more, it's going to feel more like a traditional spot exchange than it will some weird DeFi tool, which is something that's always been a part of the vision, but it has been something that is one of those, you just have to progress it through time. You can't just come out of the gate swinging with that. It already took us 4 years to get to where we are now anyway. So one thing at a time, I guess. But I guess the vision would be, with the core product as it is right now, we're launching Solana very, very soon. We're going to audit next week. That's a bit of alpha for you guys out there. I think that's going to be huge. I don't know if you've tried to swap Solana on chain for something else, not on Solana, but it's pretty sucky. So we're hoping to fix that. And I think that's going to drive a lot of our new integrations and things as well, which in turn will drive volume to the other pools and stuff as well. At the moment, we're doing between 1 and 5 million in daily volume, and that's all organic. There's no incentive programs, there's no airdrops, there's no wash trading going on there. That's all just organic users paying for the service as is. So we get a really raw view of how we're going, what the market's doing, what people are willing to pay, and we can investigate when we're having a low day, like why is that? Why are we not competitive? Have the LPs run out of money? Is it just like a bad volume day in general? Are we competing well in the spaces that we're competing in? And we can track those factors and sort of use that to make decisions on a day-to-day or a week-to-week basis about what we're doing to try and optimize for that. So it's fun. We're now in this state where we actually have a working product and it's out there in the wild, and we can sort of track day by day all the different little tweaks we can make to build a better product for users. So that's been really fun, frustrating at times, of course, but it's what I wanted. So I guess beyond 100 million, there's no reason why we couldn't be doing $1 billion a day Uniswap style. The sky is really the limit for this. Spot trading is the biggest market in crypto. I would assert. I think that's going to be really hard to prove, but from my perspective anyway, I think that's probably it. And I think we are one of the leading examples of how that can be done cross-chain in an efficient and price competitive way that actually gives decentralized exchanges a run for their money. Obviously, when you're talking about like swapping Ethereum tokens and things like that, the single chain experience does still make sense. We're talking specifically for the big major pairs across chain. Those are the pairs that we can really start to hook into and start clawing away that market share from centralized exchanges eventually. So yeah, that's kind of the vision.
Nice. Yeah. And you know, the life of things going well, things going bad, things going well is very, very, you know, it's very much integrated in building any startup, especially in the crypto space where you're, you know, mark to market on a daily basis. And I'm sure you get your fair share of flack when it comes to, you know, your token and you know, just ultimately building in such a public and open, transparent way. So I definitely can appreciate the volatility that comes with that. So last, I got you for 10 more minutes. So in these last 10 minutes, I've pulled out a bunch of good questions. So we'll just kind of, you know, take them as slow or fast as you want. First question is from Stakeen. He said, what's the unique selling point of ChainFlip? You know, there's essentially, you know, 3 major cross-chain dexes out there. So what is, you know, when someone goes to swap, what is kind of the unique reason that they would use ChainFlip?
Well, the reason that anyone would choose any DEX over any other is quite straightforward. It's pricing, speed, and security. And maybe user experience. We've got advantages across all 3, but not all the time. And that's what we're working to fix right now. But, you know, if we're the cheapest DEX, we're secure in the sense that we've got, you know, all the same price protections that you'd expect from anywhere else, which will be the case very soon. And we can do it faster than anyone else. I mean, why wouldn't you? It's really that simple. Yeah, no magic there. But there's other differences too. Unique selling point for validator operators, LPs, and so on. It suits different people's business models compared to what you see with our competitors. But you know, that's not really relevant. At the end of the day, if there's no trade volume, there's no business, there's no project, there's no protocol, there's no blockchain. You know, they all. There's very simple idea that if you can't compete in the exchange business by being better at one or all of those things, then you're dead in the water. So it's really simple, I would say.